Everybody, Sandy. I hope you guys enjoy these homegrown videos. It's better than being in a closet somewhere, or in your living room, or in your bedroom, and looking at people's stuff. Here's some nature. That's what you get. You know, I love these energies when I'm out here because it's sort of like free, where you get to have the inspiration just right from the atmosphere, and I love it. It's free. And if you could notice that it's a calm day here, that's because the sun has now entered into Cancer. Mercury has entered into Cancer. I don't think that I've ever been happy to say that in my life. For all of my life, I always thought that Cancer was just one of the most depressing things to happen because it's a declination of the sun, and I have the sun in my first house of self. So hearing the sun is going to go in its declination means like, oh, I got to go to bed soon. But Cancer is also in my 7th house of partnerships and relationships, and I've never really crossed that that sea before ever in my life. But now that I'm a little bit older, and I realized that that's my perfect opposite, I began to start to like embrace that. So now that the sun and the Mercury are here, it's kind of like, well, finding someone that's a Cancer, to me, it's probably going to be what it is that I need. Anyways, what do I want to talk about? Shit's serious, man. I'm so happy that I did the eclipse astrology, like when I did them, because they're so connected to like almost everything that we'd be going through for the entire summer. And the biggest thing that happened, and I never even thought about this. Do you remember when I had this eclipse about April 20th, and it was a solar eclipse, and I remember talking about how, it's coming in my 5th house, and I haven't had things happen to me in a while. I have to tell you that from those very moments, and if I had to look back at this very moment, my life and what I think about my life has completely changed. And here's the thing though, in mid-July, there's going to be the change up of the nodes. The dragon's head and the tail. So the tail is in Scorpio. So I've been telling all my Scorpio friends, you're shitting out something out for your life. And I've been telling all of my Taurus friends, there's something amazing coming into your life, into your being, as Uranus sort of like brings everything from heaven, and if you have your sun coming up to there. For Taurian people having Uranus in their sign, I know it shakes things up, but they need it, man, because times have changed. And I've noticed some Taurian people, they try to keep the status quo, which is what we all need to like live and be. But for themselves, they're not, I guess they've been evolving through other people and technology for quite some time, but now the universe is just saying to them straight up, you're on your last lap, bitch. And while this might end for Scorpios and for Taurus at this point in time, Uranus is still going through that sign. It's on its last, the last 9 degrees of itself. And so all those people in the last bit of Scorpio, I guess anywhere from, from the 12th of November all the way towards that last day of Scorpio, which I think is what, the 22nd of November or 23rd. Anyways, all those people are subject to Uranus still in the coming years, and I think that's a blessing. Uranus really does deal with like the higher things in life. It's sort of like where you need to be, but what it does is that it comes into the life and breaks you out of a rut. It's not beautiful when it happens, but if you're someone who's been waiting and you can discern some sort of escape, Uranus provides that for you in your mind and your body, sometimes even in a location, sometimes at a point to where you're somewhere else. Anyways, what's amazing is that now that eclipse point that I was talking about on the 20th of April that happened this year is now going to be triggered all over again. North Node is 29 as well, so it's on that point again, and it's like real soon, right at the time that it does from mid-July. There's a second part to what this eclipse is going to just kind of manifest in our lives. It could definitely well be that since that eclipse point until July 15th or so, we're probably just seeing which pieces are going to be the pieces that we work with throughout the summer, and then possibly by the time that we get to October, that's a long ways, I know it feels like it, but it goes by fast, you know. And then we face Venus retrograde on the 22nd, and I think that's what's going to make like this summer red hot, because Venus is involved. I mean, I think that we always have a lot of Venus retrogrades in the summertime. I don't know why I feel that. It's not true though. Maybe I just remember that. But anyways, the last Venus retrograde, I think that happened like over Capricorn or something like that. You know, that was actually not so bad. You know, people wonder about their relationships, but I think that, you know, if your relationship with anything or anyone comes into question, it's healthy. If you want to reevaluate it, that's healthy. Because sometimes, you know, you kind of develop like some new things or some new things that happen to you. Anyways, so it is the last week of June. I think the next best thing to happen would be this full moon in Capricorn, which is in my sign, which is a full moon in my first house, which is just like, oh shit. Things really do come to a head in my life when it comes to my partnerships with other people. I'm sure I need to face that at some point anyway. And just go from there. But I think that when it happens in your first house, it's kind of scary. But I think whenever it happens anywhere, you just never know what the fuck's gonna happen to your life, you know, or what you're working up towards to and everything else. The universe is wise and loving. I heard that from Nadia Shaw. She's definitely one of the people that I have followed throughout the years. We just have to believe that, you know, we're here for a reason, and we're supported by life in general, whether we call upon a deity in our lives that we believe that that's superpower, or whether we believe that all of nature works together. I think it's all of the same. I think it's so much better when you realize that there's something greater than us. I think that's respect, knowing that you're not the only being, you know. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing summer. Looking forward to this full moon in Capricorn. I think that is going to be a quiet week with Neptune retrograde. That's another thing. Neptune retrogrades at 27 degrees squaring up to my moon. I feel things so deeply that I almost never, I've cried the most, but all of it was kind of good because I was able to let go of a lot of emotional pain. I've had Chiron just hit me up hardcore just for different reasons, and because I was already sensitive, those painful moments were even more painful. But they weren't really like painful to the point to where like I was gonna die. It was just like, oh wow, there's still an insecurity of mine that still occurs in my life. I think that humbles you as a person. I think it makes you have compassion continuously, because it's easy for someone to believe that, you know, the world just works for them, and there are lots of people like that. But it's always at the expense of other people. That's what they don't realize. Anyway, have a great weekend, guys. Bye. Or week.